Well, hello everyone. How are you today? It's Sharon here. I'm from the blog I Restore Stuff here on Essential Stencils page, ready to share with you a fun fall DIY project. So let me know where you're tuning in from when you're joining. Hi Susan, glad to see you here. And I'll have a little look over on my laptop too occasionally, just so I can see some more comments, because often I don't see as many on the phone. So let me just bring up that live here. Should be able to see it any second now. How are you today? And what's the weather like where you are? It's a beautiful sunny day here in Queensland, Australia. Hi Sharon from Illinois. Joyce Ann's here, Melissa's here. Lovely to see you all. Hi Lucy. So good to see some lovely familiar faces. And let me know if you're new here. Hi Susan. If you're new and you've never done any stenciling before, let us know that in the comments. Just type in, yep, first time watching or first time stenciling, we'd love to know. Essential Stencil have some great products. I'm going to show you some of those today. Today I'm going to be showing you the stencil set Be Thankful Always, which is this one here, and I'll show you the two stencils. There's the 2-pack, and it's a 12 by 12 inch set. And then I want to show you something fun that I'm going to do with this crate using the Stencil of the Month Club stencils. So just a couple of fun things if you've just joined us. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Oh, Washington, yes. GA, I'm guessing that's Georgia. Sprinkled. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for sprinkling. And she is actually referring to pressing that little share button down below so that other people can we can let other people know that we are live right now. And sorry, I'm just kind of finding my way over here to my live so I can open it up and see the comments coming through, because sometimes I don't see all of them there. 100 degrees there in Washington State. Wow, Lucy, that's a hot day. Well, it's winter here in Australia. We're still in winter, and so our seasons are completely flipped to yours. But today we're going to be looking forward, for some of you, to the fall weather, because I know that a lot of you have been living in the heat over there right now. Where I'm in short sleeves, but oh, and I needed to point out my mess. I don't know if you can see, I spilled some red paint here, like, I don't know, 1 minute, 60 seconds before I was to press the live button. So I'm madly trying to scrub that red paint off. I had it everywhere. I had it on my hands, must have touched here, must have touched my lips. I thought, what is that lipstick? No, it wasn't. It was red paint. So anyway, how are you all today? So good to see you here. I'm going to be using something that I picked up in our Kmart store. So I did add this, and this is Australia, so obviously a lot of the Kmarts over there are no longer with you. You probably can find these kind of frames in Walmart, your dollar store, but I do have an Amazon affiliate link, and I've added something very similar into my Amazon shop. If you'd like that link, we can link that there. Just let me know in the comments that you want that Amazon link. And it actually pulls apart. So this canvas part, it's a canvas framed wooden canvas, so it's kind of that nice deep frame. So you take the canvas out, we work on that, and then you pop it back into the frame, and it comes with some screws that you can screw it down in. So then it ends up looking like a nice wooden framed canvas. So I'll pop that out to start with. It's 12 by 12, so it suits all of the Essential Stencils 12 by 12 sets. And oh, there was a new person, Bobby, and I missed them. Thank you, Susan, for welcoming. Hi, Bobby. You will love Essential Stencils. Yes, you will. So I just caught that there in the comments. Let's just point us down. First of all, I'll just show you the set that I was talking about. It's called Be Thankful Always, and I've got the link for that in the description of the live up here. But Essential Stencil will usually pop that too into the comments. Yep, someone's saying they want the Amazon link there. I think that Essential Stencil may hear that and pop it in for you. Otherwise, I'll quickly just grab that and I'll just throw it into the general comment section. So catch that if you can. Maybe they can pin it to the top. Ada is, hi Sharon, ready to learn. All right. And Tammy said she'd love that Amazon link too. Yes, because the other thing I wanted to show after my live, I'm going to go over on my page. My page is called I Restore Stuff. That's the name of my business. Thank you, Essential Stencil. Popped that Amazon link in there for you. And I'm going to show you some napkin decoupage using this cute little fall leaf napkin. So I've popped some of these into that Amazon link as well for shopping those kind of fall napkin colours. And if you missed that earlier, I'll be showing you a little bit of how to stain a crate and how to add some of the fun Essential Stencils, Stencil of the Month Club stencils onto this crate in a minute. First of all, let's go down to our project for today and the 2 stencils that come in this beautiful fall set. This was from last fall. And I'll turn it over so we can kind of see against the black. Well, there we go. Is this gorgeous? Be thankful always, with the pumpkin in, no, sunflowers in the shape of a pumpkin. Isn't that gorgeous? So you could make some lovely fall colours with that. And then this one that I'm just going to do today is the Gather Here with Grateful Hearts. Isn't that gorgeous? With a wreath around that. Now, of course, you know that I love to mix and match things up a bit. I'm not going to be doing that today with this set, but you could obviously use this wreath for a whole lot of other projects. In fact, if you type in Essential Stencils website, essentialstencil.com, if you type in the search bar wreath, you'll find a whole lot of stencils that have wreaths on them, and you'll be able to see, you know, how you could imagine anyway, how you can mix that up. You could put your family name in there, spell it out. You could, you know, home sweet home, any of the beautiful sayings that we already have with other stencil sets, you could add in there with that wreath. So let's just have a look at that. It fits right there perfectly, but I thought today I'd have some fun with this canvas. It's just white, and I assume that they've got some kind of, you know, that it's already pre-painted white, because it feels like it. It doesn't feel like just plain canvas. I thought we'd play with some fall kind of yellows to create a blended background here. So I've not practiced. Classic Sharon move. Let's just wing it. Let's just wing it live on Essential Stencil. Terry says she loves the sunflower pumpkin. It is gorgeous, isn't it? And thank you guys so much for sprinkling. Yes, share it in a group, share it with your friends, tag a friend if you know someone who would love this stenciling live. So what I might do is we'll paint on here, let this to dry, then I'll show you something about staining that crate. So we'll kind of switch and swatch between projects, because that will allow time for the projects to dry. Right, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of blending. Everyone does blending maybe a little bit differently. I'm going to treat this as the base here and then work up. It probably doesn't matter which direction we go in. But first of all, I'm just going to be painting this lovely mustard colour. I'm just using Fusion Mineral Paint, which is a furniture paint. It's a brand that I actually sell here in Australia, but it's available over in the States. And I also sell a mineral paint here in Australia. This is an Aussie brand, which is just available here in Australia. So if you want the Fusion paint, I've also got that listed in my Amazon store, links for Fusion Mineral Paint. I have a whole shop section or list that's specifically for stenciling products that I use, or tools that I might use while stenciling, or fun board ideas that you might have for stenciling. So yeah, take advantage of that. Now don't forget that if you want to buy any of the stencils today, you can use my code iRestoreStuff and get 10%, save 10% on any of your stencils, or even any other products. So that includes Stencil Brushes. Now the brush that I'm using today is a Klingon. This is just for the painting. This is a beautiful furniture paint brush. I do think I might have that link in the Amazon shop as well. So I'm just leaving that brush down here just for a minute. And I want to use a different brush to put this lighter color yellow up here at the top. Now Diana's asking, was it you that did the fall harvest board? I can't seem to find the video in Essential Stencil. Can anyone help Diana with that? I don't think it was me. I don't think I did a fall harvest board. So somebody in the comments might be able to help you with that, Diana. Oh, Susan, you had to leave your pup outside. All right, so I'm dipping my brush into, this is another, just a different Klingon brush. I'm using a different brush. It's a very light pale yellow, this one, but I thought it might blend nicely. So I'm starting at the top here. Now, because the board goes inside this wooden frame, if you missed that earlier, It sits inside this wooden frame. Again, link to that in that Amazon link. And I was hoping that the coverage of this would be quite good, which it is. Otherwise we may have to do 2 coats. I just love the way these 2 colours, well, they speak fall to me. We don't seem to have, in Australia where I live, we don't seem to have all the beautiful fall leaves turning that you do in the USA. So I'm getting really close to this line here, and I haven't made it exactly halfway, have I? But you can see I'm getting close to that line. What I'm going to do is use this end of my brush to just go over that line and sort of blend it in. And I should have had my little misting, a bit of a misting brush. But if I lift that up, you can probably see a little closer how it's just starting to really blend with that line there. And I think that's just lovely. Didn't even need to really go back. I thought I might have to go back over with that mustard colour, but it's really blending nicely. So that was just really super quick and easy to blend that yellow with the mustard. Let me show you the line there. So it sort of almost looks a little bit like a horizon, doesn't it? So I do have a hairdryer here that I can dry that with, but what I might do is set it aside first, and if we need some more drying, I'll do that, and then we'll pop our beautiful fall stencil right over the top when that's dried. In the meantime, I'm going to show you get myself organised. Cynthia said it's already pretty. It is, isn't it? So that was just a super easy. So you just need to get 2 different tones of paint. So you could do that with a red and a pink. You could even get 3 tones and blend that way and just create a bit of an ombre look or effect. My poor kitchen bench here always needs a good scrubbing when I'm finished my lives. Now I do have the wet paint brushes here, and I should have brought a plastic bag to keep those in. I do sort of have one here, just in case I wanted to use them again to go over it later. Otherwise I should just pop them straight into some water. Yeah, I believe I'm finished. I'm just going to pop those straight into some water and let them soak. Okay, so I've got a crate here. So this is just an ordinary little wooden crate. I've got, you can get these at a number of places. Let me know where you get yours from. Does anyone have crates there? Where would you get these from? Hobby Lobby? Do they have them at Home Depot? Probably your dollar stores. Feel free to pop those in the comments. I do also have some at that same affiliate link, Amazon link, if you would prefer not to go out to the shops and just want to order them in. Easy to do. Now you can see it's kind of half stained and half not stained. Now I stained it using just this gorgeous new Fusion Mineral Paint colour. Wow, thank you, Billy. 300 viewers today. That's amazing. All right, so I have actually got the Hazelwood. This is a brand new fusion colour called Hazelwood, and it's kind of a, I don't know, greyish tones in there. But I've created into a stain just by watering it down a bit. So I can water that down, just got some Hazelwood on the brush, dipped it in some water, swished it around, and all I'm doing is going from this, see this bright pine here, and we'll create a stain. It almost looks like a bit of a grey wash, doesn't it? Just let me see, I'm making sure that I'm in the shot here so we can see that. So we just have to paint that on, and so we want to just still see the grain of the wood coming through, making a bit of a rustic crate look here. And we're going to be using our Stencil of the Month Club stencils. Who is in the Stencil of the Month Club? I'd love to know in the comments. There's just so much inspiration in the club, and if you're not, you can use my code I Restore Stuff. That's also in the description of the live, and you can join the Stencil of the Month Club and you get your first month 50% off your first month. So that's a great deal. So I believe there are 1 month, 3 month and 6 month options for the Stencil of the Month Club. And I've done the inside of this crate too, so you'll see that, and just dripping. It's very, very drippy. Sometimes I like to do like equal parts water to paint. Other times, let's see if I can get that down there. Other times I think, well, no, it's a little bit too heavy. I'd rather just, you know, water it down a bit more. It's totally up to you. And so if you got this on and you decided, well, I think I'd like it a bit darker, you can always add more. And the same with if you find that, oh, it's a little too dark, you can actually get a wet cloth and wipe it off as soon as you've painted that on so that it doesn't look as dark. The other thing, I mentioned it earlier, but I'll just repeat myself sometimes because often we just have people jumping on and you haven't seen the beginning of the live. So excuse me if I do repeat myself sometimes. What I was going to say is after the live here on the hour, I'll be going over on my I Restore Stuff page and doing a live there, showing you how to decoupage with napkins, and I'm going to be doing that on the side of this crate. We'll be stenciling on one or two of the sides and I'll be napkin decoupaging on the other. So that'll be fun. And I'll show you the full leaf napkin that I've got right here so you can see what's going to go on there. So I like to get in all those little crevices because what happens is your eye's automatically drawn to those if they're not stained. You can see those bits that are unpainted, you know, sort of similar to when you're painting anything really. Getting all the edges, and again we want to get the inside. Might have to make up some more stain. So I showed a little bit of how to make a stain last week on my live. If you missed that, we also created a stain. Just popping into comments, and they sometimes go too fast for me to see them at the same time as I'm trying to paint something. I do love to go back after our live and have a read of your comments, just make sure I haven't missed anyone. Okay, what I do like to do is turn it over, make sure I've got these edges down here. So see that there? I need to get all those little edges in. Marty says, do you ever use the ironing method for decoupaging? I haven't actually, and I have seen people do that, but I haven't tried that one myself. I just do kind of a rustic version. All right, so I think we're all covered. This one looks a little bit less painted. Sometimes it depends on the actual grain of the wood, whether it's really sealed well or quite open, as to how much of the stain sort of shows through. So there we go. That was just watered down paint to create a stain. Now, obviously that's kind of watered down the paint once the stain has completely dried. Here we are, we'll work on this side. Once that stain's completely dried, because I already had done this side and this side, I'll work on this one. Then you will probably need to seal it after you've finished your project. Did I get the insides? I did. And when you seal that paint, it will sort of show a darker, slightly darker shade. Okay, if you missed the beginning, we are doing a couple of projects today. One is a canvas, a wood framed white canvas that I've started on. The next is this crate where I'm using the Stencil of the Month Club. So let's have a look at our Stencil of the Month Club. Whoops, sorry, just thought I had something come through there. All right, Stencil of the Month Club stencils for this month. So if you do join today, getting your 50% off your first month, you will receive this set. So this is not the add-on. There we go. So the set comes with 3 different stencils. Let's see if I can just pop this up for just a minute. Say hello. There's my face. I'm Sharon from the blog I Restore Stuff. If you've just joined me and you've not been here before, let us know in the comments if you've never stenciled or never seen an Essential Stencil live. We love to say hello. Such a wonderful, caring, loving community. Okay, Essential Stencils says they're almost sold out of that. I think it's that one that I was using before. Or is it the Stencil of the Month Club they're almost sold out of? Better jump in, whatever it is, better jump in. Use my code, I Restore Stuff. So there's one of the the sets that you'll get. All things football. Football is my favourite season. And then the other is, and I'm not sure if you can see all of those there properly, it's sweater weather, some cute little fall sayings there. So give me all the fall things. Gorgeous little pumpkins. Now I used these little pumpkins on a live last week, so you'll have to go see that fall sign that I did. Now this is one of the most popular that I have seen being used with Essential Stencils, Stencil of the Month Club. And I want to find a black background so we can kind of put that behind, so you can really get what it's saying. Okay, there we go. Pumpkin pie, hot cocoa. Isn't that just gorgeous? So in the Stencil of the Month Club, you should, if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet and you're in the club, get in there. There's so many beautiful, inspiring things that you can look at for people making and creating things out of our Stencil of the Month sets. So those are the three that come every month. You'll get 3 stencil sets, and then there's this gorgeous add-on, which is optional to add on each month. And that's just a single 12 by 16, set of stencils like that. So this is this month's add-on, plus the 3, all at stencilofthemonthclub.com. Use my code IRestoreStuff to get your 50% off. Yep, that happens every time, Kim. Everyone says, oh, I wish I'd gotten the add-on. So, but do email Essential Stencil at support@essentialstencil.com. If you are having any trouble with your membership or anything like that, you can direct your emails there. Yes, Lily says, she forgot to ask, are you talking about watering down chalk paint? So this is mineral paint, which is very similar to chalk paint. And yes, you can water down chalk paint, you can water down mineral paint. It's just an ordinary acrylic type resin. So I'm going to be using this today on my crate. So you can water it down, but I would seal it afterwards. Carol says, stenciling is so much fun. My quiet time. Yes, they do. And the brushes are great too. I'm going to be using those brushes in just a second. Okay, so some of you are probably thinking, how is she going to fit that stencil on the side of her crate or inside? What is she doing? Well, this crate, I feel like it's going to be used, so I'm not going to stencil on the inside. I am going to put this decoupage napkin on the side, so you'll have to join me over on my page called IRestoreStuff. It's at IRestoreStuff on all social media to watch how I do that after our live here. I'll be doing that on the hour. So that's 11 o'clock here, probably 8 o'clock there, I'm guessing, CST. But I'm going to make this sort of like, you know how you get those old antique vintage crates that look like they're made up of other pallets from other pieces. So we're going to kind of make a little bit of a rustic, this has been a broken pallet stuck together to create a crate. Does that make sense? So we're going to just whack the stencils on any old how and just look what we come up with. So let's see. So Kelly's asking, what do you use for a sealer? I just use a flat matte poly sealer. This is an Australian brand, this one, but you can use the Fusion brand. Any wipe-on poly acrylic sealer is fine to use. So let me go with, I'll sort of do a bit of the top design on here. What I want to do is just create where I can see most of the words, and obviously we've got a big gap in there, so you're not going to see all of it. And I think I might use, what's a nice sort of colour? I could do that mustard colour, ooh, or white. Maybe I'll do white because I think that white will stand out nicely. So I'm just going to use any furniture paint is fine, chalk paint, mineral paint. Yes, Linda says, I love that idea. Sharon, it's a really fun house. Look, yes, it is. I love doing the, parts of stencils on things. So, all right, using one of our Essential Stencil brushes here. Just going to dip that into my white paint and wipe it off a bit. So we'll wipe that off on the side. And then I just use a piece of paper. If you're wanting any more great sign stenciling ideas, let me just point this down a little more. Then go onto the video section here in Essential Stencil. You'll see both fast versions and the live full versions on Essential Stencil's Facebook page. There's a whole lot more right here on the page. Okay, I'm just going to kind of put this so you kind of see pumpkin pie coming off the edge. You'll see a couple of pumpkins. I might not do this cup here because that is a hole right through there, so it's not all going to come on. And you know what I might do is just tape this because it could move. So I'm just using an ordinary painter's tape. Thanks, Kim. So any suggestions on how to, who is that asking? Valerie's asking, any suggestions on how to stencil the plaid fall word? Oops, I missed part of that. Without the words on the bottom. I did that last week. I actually stenciled that fall plaid word from, here it is, from the Stencil of the Month Club add-on set. See the top there? It's got the fall plaid there. Oh, you mean without using those words at the bottom is my favorite. Oh, good luck with that. So if you wanted to take off those is my favorite, you would have to literally draw in your own buffalo check in those areas because it's actually missing from the design. So that would be a little bit tricky. As a challenge, someone might be able to do it. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit closer. I've got my stencil brush all loaded up with paint, but I've dried it off on my paper. If you missed that, my paper's right down here, offloaded as much as I could. And now I'm going to go over the stenciled areas. Remember, this is a crate, so we've got that big gap in the middle where there's nothing to stencil on. There's no wood. So just going round and round in a swirling motion to get all the paint on there. And because this is a rustic farmhousey kind of a look, I'm just loading up my brush again and offloading it onto the paper using one hand. The paper's going everywhere. Little squishy swirls in there is my technical terms for what I'm doing. So I'm not worried that half the stencil is going off the crate. I love doing this, look. Look, we're moving off the page a bit. Okay. Cindy says, taping is a must for me. Yeah, some people really prefer to tape so that they don't move anywhere. Most of the times if it's on a flat surface, I'm pretty good with I'm just doing a bit of tapping right now because I have a little bit too much on my brush. Didn't offload properly down there because I was trying to do it with one hand. Hi Brenda, so glad you're here. She said, I almost missed you. Yes, I'm usually on every week on a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. CST. So if you want to join me anytime, there you go. And Kay is saying, trust me, once I used Essential Stencil Brushes, I won't use anything else. Having a stencil painting party Saturday. Hey, that's awesome. And you brought extra brushes. That's such a great idea. The ladies were amazed when they started using them. Yep, there's a good advertisement for them right there. And you can use my code I Restore Stuff and get the 10% off your brushes as well. It's off anything on the website. So, okay, I've just got a little bit to go over here. Oop. I only put the tape on this side because the stencil goes right over on that side there. Going to need just a little bit more. Offloading that on my paper. You can see it's a little bit wobbly, so that's why I'm tapping it down. You kind of have to move your hand around. A little bit of a pumpkin there. Not sure how that's going to look because it's only half a pumpkin turning up on that wood edge of the crate. So let's see how that looks. There we go. So see how it's sort of just kind of half off the edge there and over to one side as if it was a piece of a crate all put together. I love it. And now on the other side where I've just stained this side, it's fairly dry. It's a little bit damp, but it's good enough, I think, to put a stencil on. Now I've used the upper half. Now I can decide whether I just want this to say fall treats here or I want it to showcase the pumpkin spice with a little bit of the, what does that say? Candy corn, crisp apples. I think the candy corn would fit on. Crisp apples half fits on. I might bring it up to say fall treats, and then you know what? You could literally fill this crate with fall treats. You could have a whole s'mores kit there or something, you know. All right, so we can see a little bit of pumpkin spice, and sometimes you can even tell that that's what it says after you've put it on. I might, let's see, where did I put the other one? I could move it a little bit to this side so that I can tape down here, but I want it to look like it's meant to be offside. And so if I did put that a little bit more central, it probably would look like I made a mistake. So I want to make it look like I did it on purpose. So I'm moving it right to that far side. See if I can do this with as much paint is on there. Nope, I'm going to need a little bit more. So you can see my paint offloading section down here. I usually have two hands to do this. Here we go. And I work it into the brush bristles like that with two hands. Well, let's see if I can get this back in the same spot. See, I've kind of missed it. All right, I think we've got it. And here we go. If you missed the first part of the live, I was showing you how on another canvas I've used a blending technique to blend some fall colours. Well, it was kind of a mustard colour and a yellow. Turned out pretty well. So we'll see if that's dry in a minute and we can stencil over the top of it. But this stencil right here comes from the Stencil of the Month Club set. And I like the way this fall treats kind of just fits down the bottom section of the crate. We'll see that in a minute. And we've got that little banner coming up here, a little part of the banner anyway. Whoops, sorry guys, we've off the screen there. Trying to do three things at once here. I might move this a little bit closer to you. And I'm trying to hang on to that at the same time as load my brush up again with a bit of the paint that was left over on the paper. Now I can line it up where it was. Let's see, there we go. I think my tape has come off this end. And now I'm going to add that here. It doesn't matter if your paint isn't completely solid looking because it's that rustic farmhousey look. It's all good. Adding a bit more paint on the brush. Thank you, Kimberly. Glad you're going to try it. Maggie says you'd have to tape a lot for this one. Yeah, it's tricky because you can't really tape under here. You can't tape on this edge because they're all coming off the edge. So you've just got to work with really patiently with your hands. See, I'm adding, even though you can only see a very tiny bit of these letters here. I don't know if you can see that, the wood through there from the crate. It just kind of looks like a little bit of letters got chopped on the wood. Okay, see if that, did I get everything? There we go. So look at that, sort of looks like a rustic farmhousey kind of a crate. Okay, so that's that, and there's that side with the top section of this stencil right here from the Stencil of the Month Club set. So if you're not in the club yet, you can join today and get 50% off your first month using my code IRestoreStuff. There's that there. And now I'll go back to what I'm going to do afterwards. So join me on my page, IRestoreStuff, over on there to decoupage the sides of this, and we'll have a lovely fall crate to add some fun fall treats into. All right, so because I don't know if I'm going to use this white or not, I just wrap that into a little bit of a damp cloth. And moving on to the next stencil, I'm going to put this one in my sink to wash off. And here's the blended look that I created earlier using mustard, a mustard color, and then using a yellow. So that's not quite dried off yet. So excuse the noise while we just get this dryer going. And please feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to have a little look at the comments and let me know. I'd love to know from you guys, what other techniques and tips would you like to see for stenciling? I'd love to know that. Rosa, yes, you missed a few stencils. Can't wait to see. Krista says, now I know what to do with some crates that I've had for a while. Yes, I've actually got a little collection of crates and I can't wait to put other stencils on them in that way. It really is a lovely effect and great for gift giving too. I hope you can hear me through the noise. Dorothy's got a lot of crates as well, all unpainted. So Maggie says you like to learn a bit more about shadowing. Yes, I've done a few shadowing techniques over the years that I've been doing these lives as one of ambassadors for Essential. So if you do look into the video section right here on Essential Stencils page, you'll see them all our videos organised in playlists, and one of those playlists is it is shadowing, and there's one, you know, on different techniques, so like raised stenciling and that kind of thing. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, you can see my Amazon link back there in the comments. Also, I'll, Essential Stencil had put it in there earlier too. Kimberly said, I love to watch how you mix and match stencils using single letters to make words. Yes, you'd like to see more of that. Thank you. Okay. Would you put a little bit more stain on the crate? Possibly, you could. If you wanted it to give it an older look or make it look darker, I could actually, on the crate, you could actually put some antiquing wax to give it a more of a darker look also. Okay, because I'm finished with the stencil of them, I've got the stencil, I'll pop that over there. Here's the set that we are working on today. This is the Be Thankful Always set, and I think, is this the one Essential Stencil said that they don't have a lot of these left. So if you haven't got this one already, grab it. I do love this. Isn't that gorgeous? Sunflowers and pumpkins. What a great fall idea. That would be beautiful here too, but I'm going to do a super quick project today, so this is what we're going to be doing. This one here. Oh. And make that the base, and then it does have this wooden frame that goes around the canvas. So I just bought that at Kmart, but I do have similar ones right there in the Amazon shop. Now, because we've got a dark here and a light here, I want to choose a colour that's going to look great on both. And Laurie's replying to someone there, you'll be addicted before you know it, and loving every minute. That's true. Rosa's asking what's the size of the pumpkin. I'm assuming you mean this pumpkin right here. I only have my centimetre ruler here, so sorry for not reading in inches, but this is about 20 centimetres, and from top to bottom it's about 18 centimetres. So 20 by 18 centimetres. Someone can Google that and figure out the equivalent in inches. Okay, so here's our, now this is the colour that I used. It's Hazelwood by Fusion. And that's the colour I used as a stain earlier, so I'm going to use that now to stencil this because I thought it might work for both. If it doesn't stand out as well on the darker colour down here because it's sort of very similar tones, then I can always add a shadowy kind of, or just add something onto the top to make that pop. You could also do something like paint the base part in yellow. Ooh, that's sounding good. And the top part in mustard. Well, I just think I might have come up with another idea there. Let's just change the plan halfway through our project, why don't we? I think we might do that. Let's see how that works out. We can always just paint over it, can't we? Okay, so I'm going to use two different colours here for our stenciling. I'm going to use this is the 5/8 inch stencil brush. This is the ones everyone was talking about earlier that they love. Yes, you can get the Fusion brand in the USA, Melanie, and I've got a link there to my Amazon shop where I have some of those, or you just go to fusionmineralpaint.com and find your nearest retailer for that. Okay, so I'm offloading my brush that I've dipped in that light yellow. Laurie says, I love to brainstorm and change ideas. I know, I'm classic, like that's what I do. If you ask anyone who's been here a while and watched my lives, I do switch it up at the spur of a moment. And so I've taped off my sides here, but I can still feel it wiggling a little because there's a bit of movement at the sides. But I'm going to go for it. And I'm just going to do the whole, the flower and everything. We can always go over with different colours. Now, one thing with canvases, because you've got that big space at the back, I often like to have a book or something there behind it that will help to make it sturdy. But I don't have that right now, so I'll just have to press lightly. Let's start with the flowers over this side. Sort of a reverse blending, isn't it, really? Let's see. Move these out the way. These are the two colours I'm going to be using. Still got that paint on the brush, and it goes a long way when you've dried your brush off and you do this swirling method. Have a practice. I always tell people practice on a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper, even an old board, paint it up however you'd like to paint it. So we're using the light yellow down here on the bottom area. Laurie says, you're encouraging people and me to make changes and dare to be different. Absolutely. I always just say it's only paint. We can always just paint over it, can't we? These little stripes here, because they go long ways, I'm just doing sort of lengthy swirls. There's no need to kind of make it too swirly. We can just go along the, almost along the line. So we'll just see how it works out. If it doesn't work out dark enough, I can always just change it up and do the colour I originally thought. You can do it over the top, no problem at all. Dipping the paint in, wipe your brush off the edge, and then offload as much as you can on your paper. Hi Dominica, late to the party? That's okay. Okay, Essential Stencil says, yes, you can order it here. This is the one, Be Thankful Always set. They've got the link right there in the comments for this set here. It's called Be Thankful Always. That's the one with the gorgeous pumpkin and sunflower, as well as this very one that I'm doing right now. So I've got part of my G done because it goes into the lighter colour yellow up the top. We'll go over that with the mustard colour in a minute. Yeah, just changing plans as we go. Change it up a bit. Experiment. You can always practice on paper. And this literally is a really cheap canvas that I bought from Kmart. I think it was less than $10 for the wood frame and everything that comes with it. Okay, let me just have a little peek. Oh, I think I like it. I think I like it. Don't know if you saw that. All will be revealed when we finish. So stay tuned. And guys, don't forget that we've got prizes at the end of our lives every time. We have prizes for 3 lucky winners, so don't go anywhere. And then after that, you can jump over and join me on my page and we'll do some napkin decoupage over at I Restore Stuff Facebook page. Okay, this one's the 1/2" stencil brush. These come in a set of 4, all different sizes. Now I'm doing the mustard colour. We're going to make the mustard colour go up the top here. All right, so I need to change over my paper here. It's getting all used up, so we'll just fold it the other way. And offloading that, it's almost the same colour as the paper, this mustard. So offload the brush and that stops it seeping under or bleeding under the stencil. So I was going to do this upside down for my sake, but wait, we'll just bring it down a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going over the top words. So if you missed earlier, what I did for the background on here was I did mustard this half and this light yellow. It's called Golden Sand. It's just a mineral paint, furniture paint, which is what I do. If you follow my blog at irestorestuff.com, I paint furniture and upcycle old home decor and furniture. It's my specialty. Lots of DIY tips and ideas on there. And I have loved being an ambassador for Essential Stencil right here. Tina says, not a big fan of the mustard colour, but it looks great on this. You're going to get me out of my box yet. I love it. Get out of that box, girl. All right. Let's see. Hopefully that's working nicely. Okay, we've just got to do this little rim of the wreath here. I was saying earlier that you could use this wreath for so many things, because if you just have a browse at essentialstencil.com, check out all of their beautiful stencil sayings. You could fit any of those sayings right here within this gorgeous wreath. I think that yellow needs to come a little bit further. Let's see. But I've got my yellow brush handy, so I could just have a little peek before I lift it all off. See if I need to add some yellow down to those sections down here where it joins. Sort of needs to blend. And then I won't forget that word gather. Remember the G kind of comes up into that mustard area. So I'll do that. Karen says, I sometimes struggle to think out of the box, but I'm working on it. I know that feeling. I often struggle in thinking out of the box, and then all of a sudden I have this brainwave, and sometimes it comes to me during a live, which is really crazy because I do like to be a prepared person. Anyway, sometimes those best ideas come when we're just winging it, having a go. Okay, let's just have a little peek at that. I'll lift it off so you can see. You can be the judge. Tell me what you think. Oh, okay. There was a little piece here that didn't work out. All right, so I feel like I need to just do a little bit more of that lighter yellow up near the top there, but I'm liking how that's turning out. Sorry, seem to have a few shadows there. But see how that could work with a bunch of different colors and different signs and things. Oops, we've got another fleck there. I might just pop that down. I'll grab my yellow color again and just add the yellow to where that is coming up at the edges on the mustard. It almost looks white, doesn't it? But it is yellow. Just going over that. Nice bright yellow. Offload. Debbie says it looks so expensive. Amazing, isn't it? How you can just really add, where was I going with this? I need to do more yellow. Yeah, just adding a little bit of detail, and Essential Stencils are great for that. Adding a bit of detail, and you can change a look of something to make it look really expensive. Okay. I think I needed to come up a little bit more there on the words. I think that's got it. And then maybe here. And over here, right over that side. Bring that yellow right up to where that middle line of mustard is. You can always go over and add a bit more to get a fuller coverage. Yep. Tiny. So it'll get a more solid colour if you just go over it another time. But I think that's looking great. There we go. How is that? And so that just, you could do that without the frame, or the other thing that I could do with this frame is then stain this wood part. Let me show you just a minute. We'll just clean up my messes. Here it is here. So I'll pop that into the frame. I've got some of these similar listed on my Amazon store that are there, very similar to that. But how good is that? Wow, a little change of plans halfway through a live. That's how we roll. But there it is, gather here with grateful hearts. How many things can you imagine doing that kind of look on, having that blended look in the background and then adding the two different tones and two different colors like that. I like it. Gather here with grateful hearts. Now let me just show you our other project that we worked on today, and we are about to pick some prize winners from Essential Stencil. Don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff and you can get 10% off anything at Essential Stencil. Plus, you get 50% off your first month in the Stencil of the Month Club. And that's where the Stencil of the Month Club is where you can grab this stencil. That's what will be delivered to your door. You'll get some happy mail with that whole set of 3 stencils. Plus, if you choose the add-on, add that on and you can get that as well. So there's the crate with the fall treats. And I will be over on my page in just a few minutes. And that is IRestoreStuff. The link is up there in my... Where have I put my... No, I don't know where my napkin's gone that I was going to decoupage with. It's probably fallen somewhere. Anyway, we'll find that in a second. Meanwhile, here's what we worked on today. We've got our crate. And yeah, someone was saying, Anita was saying, maybe you could do the transition a little bit higher. We could. You could do that. It doesn't look quite centered, does it? But, you know, you could measure that with a ruler. Here I was winging it, so on the live. All right, let's see if we've got some winners listed yet. Sometimes I can't see them, so just let me know. If you see winners, just go, hey, congratulations winners when you see them. Linda says, just bought a bunch of stencils and now I need to go back and order this one. This is a really beautiful set, isn't it? That's the one with the gorgeous sunflower pumpkins also. Can you imagine that with some of these colors, you know, really beautiful. All right, we've got some winners. Congratulations, winners. I can see it on my phone, but not on my computer. So let me just see if I can see you. Hey, yeah, there you are. We've got Debbie, Lisa, Paula, and a bonus set of stencils for Taryn. Because we reached a greater number of viewers today, which is amazing. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and for supporting my lives here and using my code IRestoreStuff at Essential Stencil. So congratulations to those winners. There's instructions right there. You've been tagged on how to get your stencils and take advantage of that. I will see you guys over on my page in a short minute when I can find my napkin so we can decoupage. So thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you soon. Bye.